The Laver Cup is eroding faster than the Florida coastline. You're going to make players grind for 4 Grand Slams, and then you're going to line them up to play this makeshift Ryder Cup. At least we got to make it make sense. In this video, I've laid out 3 major ways that we're going to fix the schedule and how the ATP can actually make changes so our players don't actually drop dead from injury. Because right now, if I'm a player, I'm not just tired, I'm overwhelmed. The schedule is so saturated that the product is stumbling onto TV and is nowhere near top notch. I mean, just look how many walkovers we've witnessed in the last 2 months. These guys are saying if it's going 3, no thank you, or if it's going 4 or 5, I'm out. Look, it's just in front of us. The proof is in the pudding. We've got Sinner and Alcaraz playing finals every 3 days. And speaking of Sinner, he'd rather sit at home and watch F1 than rub elbows at the Laver Cup. Appearance fees weren't the issue. Carlos was front and center. So it begs the question, why would you want to miss it? Personally, I think it's the social side is too much for the Italian. He's just an introvert, and that's fine. But you can't expect to be loved more than Carlos. But don't think that one polished interview just talking about your favorite breakfasts and your organic this, that, and the third are going to generate organic feel-good moments. I want to remember there was this first time when the Australian went, the Italian, went on a run at the Australian Open, and the interviewer asked him, "What were your string tensions?" And he went, "Secrets, my guy, secrets." And at that point, I was like, you know what? I could probably ride with this guy. But then again, I was mistaken. Since then, it's been bathroom breaks, snapped shoelaces, sore stomachs. So what's the solution? And what's the solution for the schedule? Simple. After the US Open, everything goes except the World Tour Finals. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take out Winston-Salem, gone. Washington, gone. Los Cabos, gone. Mallorca, gone. Lembima, merge it with Stuttgart, make it a 500 or 1,000. Hamburg and Geneva, merge that into 1,000. We do not need both. And for God's sake, the number 1 and the number 2 needs to be playing the same tournament. Stop spreading them out. It's bad for business, plain and simple. April, fine, leave it alone. But Delray Beach, I'm sorry, we got to take that out. I've been to that tour stop. It's a caddy shack. Respect to Taylor Fritz and whatnot. Buenos Aires, gone. Geographically, it makes 0 sense. Same with the 250 in Chile, Mexico, and Brazil. How about we merge all 3 of those and make it into one big 1,000 Masters for South America? You don't need to make it into 1,000 tournaments. Montpellier after the Australian Open, yo, that's got to bounce, dude. Look at all right there. Count that up. You're cutting 10 events right there and just saving a little bit more time for the players, because right now the way it's going, it's going to get bad. I mean, as I was just saying earlier, how many walkovers have we witnessed? I count between 20 and 40 in the last 2 months. How many press conferences are going to have players ripping into the schedule, or tournament directors? Iga, ADM, Novak, Casper Ruud, even sometimes. The list keeps growing. Some even say Sinner won Wimbledon because of the schedule. Don't shoot me, I'm just the messenger. Down 2 sets to love, but baby Federer's pec rips off. I mean, sure, maybe Sinner could have dugged it out and rallied, but because of the schedule, it made it so insane that, you know what, our players are falling apart right in front of us. One has to wonder, if that moment ever happens, look me in the eye and tell me if the calendar isn't breaking our players. If you saw that moment, you don't think that the players are getting broken right in front of your eye. What if tennis has its live golf moment? Because the alternative is simple. Things keep breaking down, more unhappy players, more injuries, and eventually a rival league shows up, waving Saudi money, buying stars, splitting the sport down the middle. Don't think it could happen? Look over at the PGA. Look around. I'm going to put some clips. Right now, the ATP is eating massive chunks of their own pie, while the players sit around and scrap for crumbs. Novak's Players Association is literally suing the ATP. That is not business as usual. That's a system cracking at its seams. Now, the players aren't asking for jets or yachts. They're asking for something reasonable. A cut of ticket sales, a cut of concessions, fair by any standard. If the NCAA finally just got decades of robbing kids, how is the ATP still running this hustle? Tell me. Because I don't know. Imagine this: you're in the 150 in the top. You're in the 100 top 50 in the world in the ATP, and after travel costs and coaching fees, you're breaking even. Let me tell you how the top 150 NBA players are doing. Let me tell you how the top 150 NFL players are doing. Let me tell you how the top 100 golf players are doing. I mean, come on. If you want compassion, you want rivalries, and you want the sport to remain competitive, you better shape up or ship out, because the Saudi just are running a tournament coming up in 2-3 weeks where $8 million are the prize money, the Six Kings tournament or whatever. So honestly, what's stopping them from starting to cherry pick their players and start the new league? Because if the ATP doesn't wake up anytime soon, we're cooked. This is exactly what's going to happen. So here's the question. Do we shave the 10 tournaments? Do we give the players a cut of the concession stands and tickets? And if not, what do you think the fix is? Or do we just sit around and wait till Mohammed Ben Salman decides to hop over and steal some tennis matches as well as boxing? Because right now, that's where we're headed. Because let's be real, players can't even afford to strike. So what happens if someone else gives them an opportunity to have another option, a better life, some would say? I don't know. Sinner Carlos Sinner Carlos, with a year that's been so repetitive, let's break down the top 5 stories that's come from the ATP this year. Now at number 5, we can't ignore the fact that these guys are actually playing Connect 4, because every time a Grand Slam goes on the TV, it seems like one, or if not both of them, go on the TV. Now with this consistency, it's to trigger the masses to start comparing them to Nadal and Federer. Now whether that's true or not, it's certainly the life raft the sport needed, and it couldn't have come sooner enough. Now coming in at number 4, this story is more of a story for the common man, a story for, I'd say, the tennis trickster, a class clown turning his frown upside down. A little trip to Vegas might salvage that, and it will turn your season, honestly, into having you thinking that you're going to quit, to honestly going on a run that we haven't seen in a while. As the Fox and Bull run around at the top, some fans look around for outlier stories like these to keep them engaged. And when the run started in Paris and peaked in Halle, I think we were all just applauding Bublik because it was just so good to watch. And honestly, like, the focus has been so Yannick and Sinner. It's just like, okay, here's a great story that's happening other than Yannick and Sinner, as great as they are. Coming in at number 3, one of the greatest comebacks in a major, ultimately of all time, if you ask a lot of people. I think this is where Carlos Alcaraz became the new age Carlos Alcaraz. And honestly, he would have won Wimbledon too if Dimitrov didn't topple over. But that's another story, and I don't want to get you guys going at me in the comments. Now, coming in at number 2, this is honestly, this came out of left field because it came so late in the season. We have a qualifier from France going all the way from the qualies to playing Yannick Sinner in the semifinal to gifting him a Pokemon card. Yes, I'm giving you the Terrence Atman story. It was just electric from front to start, honestly. A breath of fresh air. The thing is, what you guys don't realize is that we're watching it and we're very excited to see the electrifying tennis. But going on a run like this changes the player's life, and tennis doesn't allow players to go around ripping branches down from money trees. No. So when a player springs through the mousetrap and swindles a little piece of cheese and gets away and stuffs it in their cheeks, us as fans, we need to clap, because just as entertained as we were, they just changed their life financially. And this video has been brought to you by NetSlicer, where professional data-driven tennis strategies come to life. Now, let's get to the number 1 story of the year. Now, this one, honestly, it was so surprising, and it was just feel good. We have a story that fits this description to a T. For 2 weeks, she was getting ready for the French Open because she had to suit up and play qualifiers. And to suit up and play qualifiers and then make a run all the way to the semifinals, that is 8 matches in a row. Now, for those of you don't know, you have to win 7 matches in a row to win a major. Now, again, changing just the trajectory of your career, but not only your entire life, going from top top 400 in the world to top 50 in just 2 weeks. I mean, Lois Bonsall gets the #1 story of the year. That wraps that up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Tennis Director Wheeler, out.